Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. Can you see me?
yeah, I see you clear.
Excellent. Okay, so today we're going to be talking. Is this recording already, by the way?
Yeah,
Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the deductive and inductive approaches to language teaching. Which one will you be selecting, Ascension?
I think I will go for the inductive.
Okay. And I will talk about the deductive.
Okay,
Would Would you like to go first?
give it a go.
Me first or you first?
You go.
Me.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Well, I think these both deductive and inductive approach is something that has been questioned for a very long time. According to professionals such as Mr. Brown, he states that um, the overall outcome of language approach in terms of deductive and inductive, that inductive has been proven to be a better source of a better way to approach the language. However, some people argue that it is important to also keep in mind the deductive approach, because sometimes grammar is necessary in a classroom. Also, they also one thing that Mr. Height, Heron, and Cole 2007 book, according to them, it says that grammar should be effective grammar is effective in certain types of classes depending on the needs of your students. For example, the deductive approach is very grammar rule explanation. It's teacher focused. It lists examples of grammar such as, for example, give me an example using the present perfect, and sometimes that doesn't really happen in real life. Actually, it doesn't happen. Um, and also it's also something essential in language, but I think that in my personal opinion, that first the person should learn the language to comprehend it and to speak it, then practice the learn the grammar rules and all the specific parts of the language. What's your opinion on the inductive, John?
um, I think that the deductive approach is good to a certain point, but according to Stephen Krashen, um, the inductive way is a better form to learn the language because you can pull something that is comprehensible to the students, but not too overloaded with rules. In this case, teach it like in a more natural environment. I feel the deductive way is good, but sometimes the students they get too many rules, and instead of learning how to speak the language, they learn in theory, but in reality, they don't really know how to use the language when it comes to a real situation.
Okay.
I think that when they use the inductive approach, the students learn unconsciously to learn. And when they overloaded with rules, they have to, instead of acquiring the language, they learn in the language. But if you go to the streets, you're not going to talk, for example, using the simple past or simple present, but instead you're going to go talk like in a natural way.
Okay. So what you're saying is that the inductive approach is much more useful than the deductive because it puts it in a real life situation.
Um, According to Stephen Krashen, that's the way it is. I mean, the way I feel is good, but depending on how you're gonna use the language. For example, if you're gonna pass an exam, I think the inductive way, the deductive way is good to a certain point. I think according to Hyde and Heron, some agreement has to come between the two approaches. A little bit of the inductive and deductive approach should be used. What do you think?
Well, I think that the learning should be learner centered. So it should always be according to the needs of the student. No, so at the beginning of the course or at the beginning of before the student begins their course, that's when we can find out exactly what are their needs and what are their objective, their learning objectives, and based off of that, give them something that fits their criteria. No, sometimes it could be more inductive and sometimes it could be more deductive, but as long as there's learning, that I think that's the objective of each class.
Okay. According to Brown, most of the evidence in communicative second language teaching points to the superiority of an inductive approach to rules and generalization. Um, I agree with Mr. Brown. I think when
Okay.
you use uh, inductive, the student learns to really use the language and not um, acquire the language better instead of learning the rules of the language. I think rules can come after you learn the language or acquire
Okay.
the language.
Okay. I agree with you.
Thank you very much, Fausto.
Oh, thank you.